Do you dig what I'm saying? We all famous. I drop my top right now and this big old brainless. Mama, I made it.
Welcome to the We Are Famous show. I'm Simbo. That's my boy C.L. Hey man, Super Bowl 60 matchup. It's officially set. And if you had these two teams on your bingo card, man, stop lying. C.L., what it do?
What's up, old lying ass ninja? Because you had them on. These definitely one of the ones you had on your card.
No, I didn't have these two on my card. I didn't have these two on my card. I'm not lying. I'm not gonna admit that. You know what I'm saying? I don't lie on my piece, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like you others. You know what I'm saying? I don't lie on my piece. You know what I'm saying? Anything has been involved, I accept that. You know what I'm saying? But mine was Houston and the Rams. So I did not pick the Patriots and Seattle. It was not on my bingo card. So, but anyway, man, look, first up, the New England Patriots. Let's talk about that 180 that they made. Last year, they was in the basement, man, in 24, all the way to the Super Bowl. Mike Vrabel, he clearly kept his old notes from that Belichick era because, man, that defense, it was suffocating. And he made a little adjustment when he knew his offense couldn't score. He started toting that mill, working on that clock. And as for Drake May, look, the kid is a winner, but he was weak as well water in these playoffs, man. 10 completions for 86 yards in the championship game? Come on, man. That ain't no stat line. That's a cry for help. But he still might win the MVP. CL, man, what's up, bro?
See, that's the thing it is, though. When you're crying for help, that's where your coaches, your offensive coordinators, and everybody come into play. They make up for that. And that's clearly what the Texas organization didn't do. D'Amico Ryan and the offensive coordinator over there, they didn't help C.J. Stroud. And that's the problem. That's why we're not there now.
We go get to the Texans, you know what I'm saying? Let me finish wrapping up the winners. You know what I'm saying? And not the people who got a ribbon. They just got a participation ribbon, but we go get to it. You know what I'm saying? And in the NFC, Sam Darnold, it's like he on a redemption tour. He just hit the final stop. Darnold became the first QB to ever win 14 games with two different teams in back-to-back seasons. The Seahawks, they was the #1 seed. They clicking. And Sam Darnold, he finally got over that hump. Except this time he got a defense that, they bring that hat.
Minnesota went all in with J.J. McCarthy. And you had a quarterback who took you to 14 games. I don't know why you chose to get rid of him and not let J.J. McCarthy instead of get groomed by a veteran quarterback, but you threw all your chips in the basket. And now Sam Darnold over here in Seattle. Now, in the Super Bowl, he finally getting his due diligence after all he's done for, I think, the Carolina Panthers team, the Vikings, and now he's over here in Seattle, the 12th man. And I think that's a good spot for him. That's a good redemption from what he did last year. You made it further than you would have ever made it. And I think, in my opinion, they might be the ones.
Yeah, they might be the ones. But look, let's just give a little salute to the Broncos. Bo Nix, he was that season-ending injury in the divisional round. I think that was a dagger. Stidham had a decent, but decent don't beat Vrabel in the snow. You know what I'm saying? That defense and the way he coached, you're not going to beat them in the snow. And the Rams, Matthew Stafford, he played a hell of a game against Seattle. He had 374 yards, 3 touchdowns. But that defense was soft as a pillar, especially when it mattered.
I think Jerry Stidham, whoever the offensive coordinator is, I don't think I don't know if the coach. I don't think the coach called the plays. I think he turned it over to the offensive coordinator. I don't understand how you come out scoring 7 out the door and you don't score no more. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand that. So
yeah, I mean, it seemed like that was the weaker game of the day after 2 games. I mean, neither one of those teams could beat the Rams or Seattle. You know what I'm saying? So the Super Bowl was played this afternoon against the Rams in Seattle because I don't see New England or Denver beating the NFC this year. But we go see Super Bowl 49 rematch with entirely new faces. It was Pete Carroll versus Belichick. Totally different, same 2 teams, but new faces. So we go see what it do. You know what I'm saying? I'm picking Seattle. 24-6. That's my prediction. Who you got winning?
Well, I would favor. I had already said off the rip, whoever went out of the Rams in Seattle, that would be my pick. I don't think an AFC team, only AFC team I thought could have beat either one of these teams was the Houston Texans. That's the
I
only
told
team I thought. That's a team I thought that would be there. Was the Houston Texans. I never thought these two teams could beat the Texans. So now that the Texans out of it, I think Seattle gonna win it all since the Rams out of it. Because either one of them teams could have won it.
I totally agree. Well, I agree with you. And my bingo card had the Rams versus the Texans. But, it wasn't to be. But let me say this, man. If you are a Houston fan, I know this sucks. We supposed to be headed to Levi Stadium playing in Super Bowl 60. But, the ball didn't bounce that way. And I'm just going to say this, man. I'm not Johnny Cochran, C.J. Stroud.
If it don't quit,
Yeah,
if it don't quit, we must quit.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud, he can't hire Johnny Cochran, and I'm not the next best thing. But what I do know, yes, he had terrible playoff performances, but it wasn't all on him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Carl, he beat it in my head, man. It start with D'Amico Ryan. And I'm going to say this, D'Amico, if you listening, GM Nick Casario, if you listening, Nick Cayley, I hope you out of town, never come back. But if you guys are listening, today, in the Patriots-Denver game, the networks even made a big deal out of this. Mike Vrabel went over to his offensive coordinator and say, hey, this ain't working. Punt the ball. And we'll go ahead and bring it home. Punt the ball. Run the ball. You don't get the first down, we punt the ball. They even ran a play where he did a little bootleg and threw it out of bounds. And the networks was like, Romo was like, they just threw the ball away. That was smart because this a defensive game right now. See, I don't know what's going on with D'Amico Ryans. If he don't have the power or the leadership skills to go tell his offensive coordinator, hey, buddy, we can't throw 49 times. I have the best defense in the league. Punt the ball. Run it. Because Woody Marks, weakened in wet toilet paper. I know he might not go get a first down, but let's just go 3 and out, punt the ball. You know what I'm saying? Every drive in that game on the Texans, for all you fans that's mad and want to blame it on CJ, he not calling the plays. He out there, he has none of his weapons. He don't have Nico Collins. He don't have Schultz got hurt. Tank Dell standing on the sidelines because he couldn't come back. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Mixon, he allegedly pow, himself in the foot. So the boy was out there by himself with a bad offensive coordinator. D'Amico should have went and told that man, hey, bro, if we not kicking an extra point from a touchdown or kicking a field goal, we punting the ball. It's that simple. The reason the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, not because Drake May had a great series, it's because they had a great coach.
Clearly, all 4 of these games came down to coaching. And the teams that lost, it didn't come down to bad coaching. It just come down to them taking risks.
The Texans came down to bad coaching. We're not going to let them off the hook.
Texans came down to bad coaching.
The Texans came down to bad coaching.
Came down to coaches taking risks. Sometimes most of the time, them risks they take, it normally worked for them. The teams that lost this particular time, the risk just happened not to work. But there's nothing wrong with taking risks. That just shows you believe in your team.
Well, let's be clear what you're saying.
We don't get to the point we even take no risks. The Texans don't even take risks.
Well, let's get clear what you're saying. Sean McVay, he went for a 4th down all year long, had a high success rate.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Payton, he went for a 4th down a lot throughout the season and had a high success rate. So that was part of their DNA. We couldn't even score from the 1-yard line on 3 downs. You know what I'm saying? And y'all, if y'all didn't fix that in the regular season, shame on the fans. Shame on all of us to think that in the regular season, we couldn't even get in from the 1-yard line 20 times in a row. How we gonna get better in the playoffs? So shame on us, man. We was believing too hard. But look, man, we're not gonna talk about the Texans, man. Congratulations to Seattle. Congratulations to New England, who, y'all got an asterisk for going to the bowl, man. A win is a win. But between D'Amico Ryans and Sean Payton, they just gave that to y'all. And then this clown gonna mess around as trashy as he is, Drake May gonna win the MVP. Man, look, the NFL trying to create another great white hope on us, bro.
They
Right up
create a
under our nose.
narrative. Yeah, they create
Yeah,
a
they
narrative
trying to
of
create.
yeah.
Yeah, they trying to create another great white hope, and I'm not buying it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not buying it. You
And
know,
guess what?
hey, go ahead.
Hopefully Seattle don't get to a point where it comes down to the end of the game and Walker the third, they ran it all the way down to the 2-yard line. And all of a sudden you won't say I'm done to pass it in instead of giving it to them on first and goal. And then it'd be another replay of what they did back in the day. And the Patriots end up winning.
It ain't gonna be that close. But look, man, if this your first time, don't make it your last time. You gotta subscribe to get notified because we are famous.
Acer, no chaser. Yeah.
Bitch, we told him chop